Hello, it's Monika from Crafting with Quilling Lady, and hope you have absolutely fabulous day. It is April, so it is time for hashtag FFC Challenge 2023. In April, we're going to create a Dutch fold card. If you've never ever tried this card style, it is for you. So I'm going to use a free gift from Creative Stamping Magazine issue 120. In the magazine you can find my card I created, and if you want to know how I created it, the link is at the top right corner. The magazine comes with beautiful stamp set collection with Frida Kahlo. As she is one of my favorite artists, I decided to use that stamp set for today's card. There are also some sentiments you can use as well. So first let's create a card base. I've got 10 inches by 11 inches white card, and on the 10 inches we are going to score it at 2.5 all the way down, and also 7.5 inches, and that looks like a very big gatefold cut. But now we have to turn it, and we're going to score it at 7 inches all the way down, and also 3.5 inches, but only to the first fold line we created. Then turn it over and do exactly the same on the other side, only up to the fold line we created. Now I'm going to use my scissors and cut the excess, and that will give me the card base. If you want all the measurements and mats and layers, I created the PDF that you can find on BuyMeACoffe website, and I left the link in the description down below. If you've never heard about hashtag FFC Challenge 2023, it is hosted by PaperMona, Monika, and every single month is dedicated to a different fancy fold. In April, we're going to create Dutch fold cards. It is open collaboration, so if you want to take part in it, all you have to do is to create your beautiful card, decorate it the way you want, and use that hashtag FFC Challenge 2023. We also have a Facebook group where you can join us and share all your projects there. So please check it out. As you can see, we've got the card base, and it will be time to decorate it. I decided to create my card with lots of colors, so I'm going to use blending brushes from Creative Craft Products. As you can see, they are brand new. I decided to try them out for today's video. And if you're interested in them, I left the link in the description down below. So I'm going to use a couple of them here. I thought, let's use some colors to create this card. I couldn't resist. As many artists create their artwork, it's always so bright. So I thought, let's use some Distress Oxide inks, and I've got them in Prize Ribbon, Broken China, Wilted Violet, Quiche Flamingo, Carved Pumpkin, Mustard Seed, and Lucky Clover. As you can see, I'm starting with the darkest blue, then I'm going to use that Broken China, purple, pink, orange, yellow, and then green. As you can see, it is super quick, and I really wanted to try those brushes, and to be honest, I was very amazed how smooth they create the background. So if you do have your blending brushes, please take them out and create your own backgrounds. But to be honest, if you don't want to do it for this card, that is absolutely fine. You can use any design papers from your stash. And these panels, the biggest one measures 6.5 by 4.5 inches. Then the top one on the right measures 3.5 by 4.5 inches, and the two little ones measure 2 by 3 inches. And later on I'm going to add some backgrounds to have that beautiful border on all the elements on my card. But if you do want, you can create 4 panels instead of the 2 ones at the very bottom, so you can decorate the inside of the card as well. The biggest panel here will go inside of the card, the top on the right will go at the front of the card, and we're going to put our focal element there. So as you can see, I'm using lots of beautiful colors. I really wanted to have this card very cheerful and bright, and I want to use the technique that I haven't used in a while. So if you haven't seen my heat resistant technique, the link is at the top right corner. So I'm going to use all those colors here, and then yes, we're going to do some heat setting, but I really want to keep those colors, and when you tilt the card I really want that wow effect, and I'm going to show you how to do it step by step. But if you don't have Distress Oxide inks or any other inks for blending, you can use design papers for this card as well, and that would be perfectly fine. So when this is ready, I'm going to use some beautiful stamps from this Frida Kahlo collection, and I decided to use some small flowers just to add that extra detail to the background. But I'm going to heat set it. So first I'm going to use my anti-static bag and make sure that it's totally dry. If it's not, you can always use your heat tool, and I do encourage you to do so because we don't want the embossing powder to stick everywhere. And to be honest, distressed oxide inks actually dry for a very long time. Now I've got my Versamark ink, which is clear transparent, and I'm going to stamp the flowers wherever I think will work on the background panels. Now I'm going to use my Wow embossing powder, clear gloss. As you can see, I've got a big jar, which is perfect for heat embossing. Now, if I do have some excess of the powder, I can use my fingers, or you can use a dry paintbrush, and that will be fine as well. So again, I'm going to repeat the process over and over again until I'm happy with the result. And to be honest, these small flower stamps didn't want to stick to the acrylic block. So later on, I use a little bit of low tack tape to adhere it to the block. If you do have this stamp set collection from Creative Stamping Magazine, please let me know if your small flowers stick to the acrylic block. If they do, maybe I got issue with some, let's say, damaged stamps, but in the end they did work beautifully. So when these panels will be ready, I'm going to sprinkle that clear gloss embossing powder from Wow. And again, if you want to know all the measurements for this card, check my BuyMeACoffe website. The link is in the description down below. I told you that FFC Challenge 2023 is hosted by Monika, PaperMona, but also there is Christine from Christine's Cards and Shannon from Art Junkie, and they take part in this collaboration as well. So every single 5th of the month, we're going to release a new video with a fancy fold. So today is Dutch fold card, and the next one will be Z-fold cut, and this challenge is just for fun. But as I told you, if you want to join us, all you have to do is to create your take on this Dutch cut for April, and then you can share it on your social media. And it would be amazing if you can actually join our Facebook group, because there are so many amazing crafters there. I think at the moment there are over 40 of them, and trust me, all the projects I've seen for hashtag FFC Challenge 2023 are absolutely gorgeous, and they really blow my mind because they are so beautiful, and every single one is totally unique. So please check those out. So as you can see, I'm creating those flowers even on the bigger panel as well, because I want to create a nice frame. So now it is time to heat set it, and I do encourage you to heat set your tool for about 20 seconds before you start doing heat embossing. As you can see, with that clear gloss, you can't really see much difference, but I'm going to show you how to make it even more special. But if you want, you can leave it at this point, and you don't have to add any more ink blending on top. But I will do it because I really want that extra shine on my flowers. And be careful whenever you use a heat tool. If you want, you can use your tweezers, and that will be perfectly fine as well. So as you can see, we've got that beautiful shine here, and I absolutely love these flowers. But now I'm going to do that ink blending again. So I'm going to use exactly the same colors. As you can see, I sped up the video pretty long here, because otherwise you will spend like 20 minutes with me blending. No, that is exaggeration. Actually, it took me 8 minutes altogether. But anyway, so as you can see, I'm covering the whole background again with the same colors. If you do have distress oxide inks, it's slightly darker color palette, that would be even better. And trust me, it is worth the effort. All you have to do when it's completely finished with the ink blending, you need a piece of cloth to actually get rid of the excess of the ink. And then the shine on flowers will be absolutely stunning. I also wonder, have you ever created a Dutch fold card? If you have, you can put your beautiful make on our Facebook group, and I would absolutely love to see it. If you haven't seen any Dutch fold cards yet, at the end of this video, I will link all 3 other crafters that take part in this collaboration, which is PaperMona, Christine and Shannon, so you can check those amazing tutorials as well. So as you can see, I'm using a piece of cloth and I do have some fingerprints on the bigger background here, but to be honest, I'm not worried because I'm going to show you how to fix it and no one will ever know later on. So now it is time to put that white piece of rectangle here to cover the fingertips, and that will be the space to write your message. Super cool, right? Now we've got some mats and layers for the card, and this purple one measures 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, and then this one is 3 3/4 by 4 3/4 inches, and the smaller ones are 2 1/4 by 3 1/4. As you can see, this card comes together really quickly, but if you use any design papers, that will be even quicker. And if you have never ever created a Dutch fold card, I do encourage you to do so because it is so much fun. And every single month we're going to create a different fancy fold card. So whenever you create all of them, you'll have amazing bundle of fancy fold cards where you can't get it at any card shop because they are beautiful, handmade and gorgeous, right? So as you can see, I'm putting all the panels on the card base we created, and it will be time to create our focal element. So at this point I thought I need to use that Frida Kahlo stamp set collection. So I've got my 300 GSM wide multi-purpose card, and I'm going to stamp the image using waterproof ink from Spectrum Noir because I'm going to use some watercolor markers, which in this case will be Zig markers. I haven't used them in a very long time, so I thought, why not? Let's give it a go, right? And then in the end, if you think about this, I've got some dye inks, I've got some Distress Oxide inks, and I've got some Zig markers. So in the end, it will be a mixed media card. So I do encourage you to take anything from your stash and play with them, because if you mix and match all your supplies, you'll be amazed how beautiful makes you can create. And trust me, it is worth the effort because sometimes we forget about our supplies, so it is a good idea to have a look what you've got and what you haven't used in a long time. And I think that's the best thing about crafting. You can never ever go wrong with your supplies. All you have to do is to use them, right? So, as you can see, I decided for Frida Kahlo for some greens and purple color combo. To be honest, it is one of my favorite color combos, so if you've seen my other videos, you know exactly what I mean. And what's really good about Zig markers, they blend beautifully, but you can also use watercolor cards, and that would be even better for blending. So I'm coloring Frida with some purples and the butterfly with some green, light and dark, and the same purple as well. And the flowers on her head will be with a little bit of pink and purple, because why not, right? I thought that will be a good color combo. If you agree with me, please let me know in the comments down below. So when this will be finished, I'm going to fussy cut the whole Frida Kahlo with my scissors. You don't need any cutting dice for this part because it is super easy to do it. So now it is ready, but we have to create a panel, and I decided to use a hexagon. And all the measurements here will be on my BuyMeACoffe website. So first I do encourage you to create a rectangle, and then I cut 1 inch from the top and I found the middle point here. And then this one is slightly smaller. And now you can use a pencil to make some marks and use your trimmer or guillotine to cut it. So as you can see, I'm putting the marks exactly where I want to cut this panel. And yes, I'm going to use my trimmer or guillotine from Crafter's Companion to cut those triangles out, and we do have that panel. And at this point I thought it is too white, I need to change it. So I'm going to use Distress Oxide inks and Mustard Seed and Carved Pumpkin. And again, using those ink blending brushes, it really makes a difference. What is your favorite way to do ink blending? Please let me know what's your favorite tool. And when this is ready, I thought I really like it, but can I make it even more special? So I decided to use a little bit of water, and I'm going to spray it on my panel then heat set it and use a tissue as well, so I do have a little bit of texture on this panel. And if you've never ever tried this technique with distress oxidings, I do encourage you to do so, because maybe here in the video you can't really see it, but in real life it really makes a difference. So our cut is nearly ready. Now it is time to assemble the focal element. And at this point I thought something is missing. We do have that focal element, but we also need a sentiment. Some from the Frida Kahlo stamp set collection from Creative Stamping magazine. I use birthday wishes and I gold heat set it with embossing powder, obviously. And at this point I thought, let's use the same purple color I use for the frame with Frida, and also the mats and layers here. So as you can see, the birthday wishes is ready, and now I'm going to cut it with my scissors and back it on white card, because I thought if I add even more color that will be too much, but with that white I'll have enough contrast for my whole composition and the card. If you agree with me, please let me know in the comments down below. Again, I'm going to use my scissors to cut it out, and I'm going to adhere it on the panel. Super quick and simple, but only I'm going to put a tiny bit of liquid glue. And if you do use your liquid glue, you can maneuver all the elements. Of course, it is time to add some gold gems here and there for extra sparkle, right? And the cut is finished with those beautiful heat set flowers. So what do you think about this Dutch fold cut? Would you like to give it a go? I really hope you will. There is plenty of space to write your message inside, but also on the back as well. So don't forget to check our Facebook group and create your project for hashtag FFC Challenge 2023. And in May we're going to create a Z fold card. Here you can see 3 other videos by Monika, Christine and Shannon. Thank you so much for watching and spending that time with me. And don't forget to like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're new. Thank you for watching and happy crafting!